following comments were pulled from the Easy Allies Patreon page among our $10 and above patrons. They represent what our community was playing and talking about in June. Usually me and my friends all get together and watch E3 as a group. I'm from Scotland, but I imagine that E3 for us is like the Super Bowl to others. It's full of screaming and we're all on the edge of our seats. But this year, all my friends were out of town for different reasons, so I had to watch it alone. Although I didn't. I spent it with you guys and this whole community, and it felt as lively and exciting as it always has. Thanks for sharing these amazing moments with us. I'm a solo guy. I prefer to watch movies and play games alone. Yet after watching all the press conferences, I went back and watched every second of your E3 streams. Yes, all 33 hours of them. And man, this was even better than the show itself. My personal best moment of E3 2016 is Brandon's reaction to the Battlefield 1 trailer during the Microsoft press conference.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
No.
Oh my god. Oh
No.
my god. Oh my god.
No.
Oh my god. Super hyped for E3 to the point of having no qualms over taking a week of vacation. But the most exciting thing for me this month has been getting my first platinum trophy ever with Resogun. Every year when E3 comes around, I begin to dream. But not only that, I believe. There have been times where developers and publishers let us down, or have given us such an awkward moment that we share it with our friends and laugh about it many months later. But the times they have surprised us and given us more than what we asked for far outweighs the disappointment. These are the times I remember, and also the times I will always look forward to. Just going in with an open mind and open hype. I'm excited for those E3 moments. Last year we had the unveiling of Yarny and Unraveled. We also had the live demo of No Man's Sky, and then Ben and Brandon's passionate disagreement. We'll always have the memories of a giant enemy crab and Ridge Racer. Dear future self, there you sit, head in your hands, disappointed yet again. I tried to tell you, but you never listened to me. Half-Life 3 is dead. Valve has underground vaults filled with money that they swim around in Scrooge McDuck style. They don't feel obligated to fulfill your nerd fantasies. We go through this every year as E3 approaches. I heard you verbally tell other people that you know Half-Life 3 isn't getting announced, and that you don't even care anymore. But I can read your thoughts because I am you, and every time you got that stupid glazed over look on your face, I could tell you were thinking about seeing G-Man's face appear on the big screen at one of the press conferences. It was never going to happen, my man. Please, just bury your hope for good this time, and try to remember to keep your crybaby tears on the inside. You don't want to have to explain to your wife why you're crying at the dinner table again, do you? Everything's gonna be okay. Maybe. Just don't send Gabe a death threat. People who do that are even more pathetic than you are right now. Deepest sympathies. Pre-E3 you. E3 of Dreams Part 2. This year is so important for games since E3 2015 was totally the calm before the storm. This year is going to be game-changing. In my opinion, every console has its definitive year, and I believe 2016 is that year for the PS4. We have seen games like Street Fighter V, Ratchet & Clank, and Uncharted 4. Also coming down the pipeline is No Man's Sky, Gran Turismo Sport, Final Fantasy XV, and The Last Guardian. Add remasters like Odin Sphere and Valkyria Chronicles, and you have one awesome year. Sony has made all my dreams come true recently, but an old friend known as Nintendo is withered away into obscurity. I only wish they would release a console that is built for one purpose, and that is to play some of the greatest first and third-party games, just like the old days on the SNES. I've decided to use this power for evil this month. My name is Brandon Jones, and I love the Xbox. I love the Xbox. I love the Xbox. E3 is over and many people are hyped about Zelda. I guess I would be too, if I weren't so sure the game is so far away. I don't believe Nintendo will launch the NX in March, and given they said it will launch at the same time on both consoles, the Wii U version will be held hostage, even if it is ready to launch. I'd love to be wrong, and we'll only have to wait another 9 months to explore Hyrule. Skyward Sword annihilated my interest in the 3D Zelda line. Between the endless tutorializing, linear world progression, and being navi'd by Fi throughout the game, I look back on those hours with only regret. At this point, I'm seriously starting to consider making a blood sacrifice for Beyond Good and Evil 2. An awesome trailer plays. We don't know what the game is, but it looks amazing. Halfway through, Michel Ancel comes on stage, and I scream at my computer screen. Beyond Good and Evil est de retour, you will say. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Michel Ancel. What you're about to see is gameplay from my latest creation. Hope you like it. He goes away, the trailer continues, the gameplay is badass, and it ends with the BGE2 logo. Coming to the iOS App Store and Google Play. I die internally. I ended up playing One Piece Burning Blood more than I thought I would this month. I went in thinking this would be another typical dumb anime arena fighter that has no depth, and I would be able to button mash my way through. Yeah, I was wrong. The variety of abilities as well as the way you can build your teams leads to many different ways to play. I also like the characters' banter before a match, commenting who is on their team and who they're fighting against. Dishonored had its missteps and flat spots, but it did many things well, the most important of which, in my opinion, is the chaos system. Most morality systems tend to treat renegade or evil choices with only a slap on the wrist. There really is little incentive to play as the hero in so many games when you can look cool and get cool stuff by just being a jerk or killing everyone, but not in Dishonored. Dishonored rewards your neck slashing with more enemies, your inventive trick kills with more weepers roaming in the dark places of Dunwall, your ends justifies the means attitude with the young empress you rescued becoming a malevolent tyrant. Oh, and that little rat plague you started the game trying to solve? The stacks of bodies left in your lust for revenge have made such a cure impossible to find. A game that uses the phrase, revenge solves everything to sell itself, but then makes you effectively lose the game by doing the very thing it had been supposedly built around, is a very powerful experience. One I can't wait to see how Arcane is expanded upon in Dishonored 2. I spent my time last month playing the awesome Nioh demo, and I played through the Uncharted series. I also finished Shadow of the Colossus and Valiant Hearts, so I played more than I bought. This month, I'll try to get through The Last of Us, Journey, and maybe Valkyria Chronicles on PS4, plus one or two other games. It's 35 degrees Celsius, 95 degrees Fahrenheit here in sunny Bucharest already, and I'm pretty hyped for everything getting released this summer on PS4 and Vita. There's too much good stuff to play. I've got my vacation booked for September when Final Fantasy XV comes out, and waiting for Nioh to release like there's no tomorrow. Even though I'm not a fan of Resident Evil, RE7's reveal was the best game announcement. It was different. However, the best moment was Hideo Kojima coming on stage. It was epic in every possible way. The steps lighting up, the awesome music, and his line of, "I'm back!" It's just one of the many instances of why E3 is my favorite time of year. You've got to hand it to Watch Dogs, at least they picked a city we haven't played in a million times before. In regards to what Ian was saying on the May 25th podcast, is a third-person action-adventure Star Wars game enough? I certainly believe so. Star Wars in its original form falls under the genre of pulp adventure, and Amy Hennig's Uncharted series carries the ethos of those original Star Wars films, in my opinion, much more tastefully than any subsequent film sequel ever has. For example, Star Wars Episode 4 and Uncharted share a lighthearted but often tense atmosphere, stunning action sequences, romance rooted from adventure, humor injected into the bloodstream of the narrative, etc. Uncharted was a mixture of, say, Star Wars 4, Indiana Jones, and Romancing the Stone. Since then, the films have lost that simple sense of, albeit often cheesy, pulpy adventure, instead replaced with either too much drama or too much action, but less about the fun of the adventure. A Star Wars game that carries that original tone that Hennig brought back decades later in Uncharted would be a dream come true for me. For the love of God, Square, give us a release window for Kingdom Hearts 3. My heart cannot wait too much longer for this game. I'm thinking it's time for a ninja game, and not a Ninja Gaiden action-based rehash. I'm talking about a stealth ninja game like Tenchu. I want the game to have an open world, as well as an emphasis on using darkness to hide, a gritty setting, and some amazing finishing kills. I feel like I'm in a gaming renaissance right now with Dark Souls 3, Uncharted 4, Ratchet & Clank, Quantum Break, and Overwatch. I haven't felt this compelled to play so many games in the same time frame in a long time. Next up, Zero Time Dilemma. Knack, quite frankly, is a good fun game. I decided to pick up the game this week, and I'm having a blast. Sure, it has its flaws, but it doesn't deserve all the hate it gets. To its core, Knack is a fun, old-school platformer. And from what I've experienced, if you play the game on hard mode, Knack shines. It's rewarding and fun, and you actually have to get good at the game, like Dark Souls. Everyone, just pick it up. It's dirt cheap nowadays. Knack 2 will be a reality, believe it. Knack will rise again. My summer will consist of lots of Grand Kingdom, Monster Hunter, God Eater, and soon World of Warcraft Legion. I'm pretty excited. Summer is usually a dull season for video games. May was awesome. Doom, The Witcher DLC, Uncharted 4, Overwatch, the second Rainbow Six DLC, and Hitman? Oh man, loved May. I'm a big fan of Kirby games, but is Kirby really a hero? Or is he a villain? When AAA games cost $269 while your average graduate salary is $3,000, you can't help but be picky with what you play. Though I gravitate to Ben Moore's selection of gaming cuisine, I can't help but sniff deliciously at Huber and Brad's hype platters and Ian's exotic pickings at times. The other allies too have wonderful choices that are as colorful and rich in personality as the diners themselves, and if I had all the money in the world, I wouldn't mind trying it all. I always enjoy intros to games. A big reason for this is because I buy too many games and can only appreciate the opening sequence. I never get to the ending. With the almost certain release of marginally more powerful consoles coming in the near future, I'm wondering if higher graphical fidelity is even worth chasing. Games are getting better and better looking, and I absolutely love finding new benchmarks for real-time visuals, but even I have to admit that when I'm focusing on playing most games, the graphics start to disappear. I can only really appreciate the gorgeous visuals when I'm watching someone else play, or during slow moments. I own a 4K TV, a ridiculously good gaming monitor, and a very powerful computer, so I can see multi-platform games at their best. But at some point, there's diminishing returns on this expensive hardware. The difference between 1080p and 4K resolutions is noticeable, but isn't day and night, and the same could be said for frame rates over 60. I'm all for technical advancements, but I wonder if it's worth it for developers and console manufacturers to really push the envelope. Perhaps graphics are mainly meant to simply sell a game instead of improve the user experience. After all, at least personally, breathtaking graphics can elevate an otherwise average game. I think gamers have been getting overly criticized recently. Sure, there are some bad eggs out there harassing people online, but there are also people like that in every fandom. Sports fans have been known to riot and throw things at players. Paparazzi and movie fans have been known to assault celebrities. Looking on the bright side, who is calling out these gamers who act like jerks? Other gamers who don't want to put up with it. There are plenty of friendly gaming communities out there, and Easy A is one of them. I've gotten pretty deep into VR over the last few months, and I've spent a lot of time with the HTC Vive. For me, it's a childhood dream come true. The Vive has, at times, brought me close to tears. But if I'm truly honest with myself, I don't think this generation of headsets can really become a gaming mainstay. The eye fatigue alone after 30 minutes will limit what can be achieved on these devices. I can't see a full AAA title working for long periods of time. I think I'm gonna have Chipotle for dinner. A burrito bowl sounds good.